The biggest piece of advice I can give to a new mom is to just be open to change, whether it's your birth plan, whether it's breastfeeding, whatever, because you literally never know what might happen. So, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sharday. Most people call me Shardazy, and my channel focuses on motherhood, lifestyle, and primarily fashion. So I do a lot of reviews, I talk about mom things, and I do hauls, tip my eyebrows, stuff like that. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe. Make sure you like and comment so that my video is boosted up in the algorithm. And as you can see by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about breastfeeding. So if that is something that you are interested in or something you just want more information about, keep watching. Okay, y'all. So first I want to preface with saying I was breastfed for a very long time. I was breastfed till I was around 4. Yes, I did eat other foods, but I was breastfed. And I'm talking mouth to boob. Like, my mom did pump when she had to work and stuff, but if she was home, I was on the boob. I called it my mug. And I always ask my mom, like, why did you breastfeed me for so long? And she just says because the doctors told her eventually I would wean myself off. I never did that. I mean, it did get to a point where I think my grandma was like, what are you doing? Why are you still breastfeeding her? Which caused my mom to stop. But I was breastfed for a very long time, and I asked my mom questions like, did I bite you? Like, what was this like? And she's like, no, you never bit me. And it was almost, I think it was more of a comfort thing for me at that point, because she said, really, I would get on the boob if I wanted to like sleep or relax, as she would say. So, yeah, I was breastfed for a very long time, and whenever I thought about me having kids and me breastfeeding, I was told like, I'm gonna breastfeed till my baby like 4, which is a joke to me because I will not do that. But I did want to have a long term or a long span of breastfeeding. There are studies that show that kids that are breastfed live healthier, happier lives. They are less involved in crime. They make more money over the course of their life, stuff like that. And that's important to me. But also, I think it's just easy. Well, let me not say that it's easy. For me, I had a C-section and I was breastfeeding. So it was easiest for my daughter to be in the bed right there to eat, because I physically could not get up to get her, and I wouldn't require my boyfriend to do that. That would be pointless when she could be just right there. And I did want to start off with that conversation of how naive you can be about breastfeeding. And I will say I was one of those people. I just thought, everybody breastfeeds, or I mean, everyone has the ability to it. It's just because people choose not to that they don't. And I've learned that some people milk, like, your milk drops after your baby's born, and some people take like days and days to come in. I have a friend who her milk took 6 days to come in, so she had to start feeding her baby formula. And when she finally did get milk, she couldn't keep up with feeding him and the supply and stuff like that. So he's still on formula, and I didn't know that was a thing. Or some people their milk never comes, or their baby doesn't latch, stuff like that. And I was not aware of that. So going into this, I'm just like, I'm gonna breastfeed, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to do that. I'm very thankful that I have lots of milk and my baby latch easily, but that's not everybody's journey. So I will say, if you are, a mom, or you're about to be a mom, or you're thinking about having kids, the biggest piece of advice I can give to a new mom is to just be open to change, whether it's your birth plan, whether it's breastfeeding, whatever, because you literally never know what might happen. So that's the first thing I did want to say about breastfeeding, that I had no idea. I didn't know that you might not have milk or your baby might not latch. So that was a big eye opener. And when people ask me, like, why do you think people don't breastfeed? Breastfeeding is a big commitment. You got to think. You have to watch what you're eating. You can't drink. You can't smoke, or whatever, like, recreational things you like to do. And right now, so my daughter is 4 months. I've been breastfeeding for 4 months, and apparently she's allergic to something. She has eczema, however you say it, and it's caused by something I'm eating, I'm sure, because we kind of ruled out. I think it's a few things actually. So I thought it was the laundry detergent we use, which I think it was a part of that, but I also think it's something I'm eating because I noticed I drank coffee that had almond milk, and that was around the time where I'm like, I think it's soy. And then I read the back and it said it has soy in it, and this is after I fed her and realized her skin was like freaking out. And I'm like, okay, so I really do think it's soy. So now I'm cutting soy out of my diet. And you don't realize how many things have soy in them until you try not to eat it. And it's everywhere. Like soy, wheat, gluten, dairy, eggs, everywhere. And so basically, I'm pretty much going vegan because I'm feeding her. And what I eat, she eats. So if she can't eat soy, I can't eat soy. And that can be hard for people because you want to eat what you want to eat, or you want to drink, or you want to smoke, or whatever you want to do, and you have to think about what goes into your body goes into their body. So I think in that regard that's a big commitment. But also, even when I think about time, say I want to take a nap. When she was smaller, I took a lot of naps by myself. Great time in life. Now I pretty much don't, because it seems like every time I want to take a nap, she wants the boob, and there's nothing I can do besides feed her. So it's a commitment in that regard. Like 2 days ago, I swear, of the 28 hours, she probably spent, I would honestly say, like 17 or 18 of those hours on my boob. Or, yeah, she was pretty much on the boob and sleeping for 17 or 18 of those hours. And that causes for a long day when you have other stuff to do, but your child is on your boob. Or I honestly be like, dang, I have not been productive, because I physically can't. Well, I mean, you can do stuff while you're breastfeeding, but not that much because you're holding a baby. Um, and for her to be on the boob that much, I didn't get anything done for like 2 days straight, and I was like, dang, I am just falling by the wayside. But I try to keep in mind, like, I have a baby, like, I'm not falling by the wayside. But I'm saying that to say it's a big physical commitment. Like, you're giving your body to your child, and you're dedicating all that time, and even sleeping. Like, my quality of sleep is so low because she's breastfeeding. So she doesn't necessarily wake up. She just kind of like opens her mouth and like looks for my boob while she's asleep. And I sleep light anyway because she's in the bed with us. But she eats through the night, so your quality of sleep is down, and you spend a lot of time breastfeeding. So I remember when I first, like when you first have your baby, you have to feed them every 2 to 3 hours because they need to gain their weight back that they lost once they come home. And I think it was like some crazy number, like 200 minutes. That sounds low though, because an hour is 60 minutes. I don't know. It was some crazy number because I had to track it. Well, I didn't have to, but it was easier to track it to know like when I need to feed her. But it was like I spent like half the day breastfeeding, and that is a very long time. So it is commitment in that regard. And also, you can't really be away from your child. Like right now, before I go do anything, I try to feed her so that it can hold her over until I get back. But like for example, yesterday I wanted to go work out. I tried to feed her before I left. She did not want to eat. And when I was on my way to the gym, she was tripping, so I had to come back home. So there are things like that that those are a big commitment. And I do understand why women choose not to breastfeed. It's completely understandable. However, I do want to just get into my journey. So I initially was pumping, but my daughter doesn't like bottles for whatever reasons. So I just basically have a bunch of milk in the freezer. She doesn't like bottles or pacifiers. I did try to give her a bottle. It wasn't any milk in it. I just put it to her mouth to see what she would do, because she usually acts like she's throwing up. It's giving drama, but she usually acts like she's throwing up. But I gave it to her. She didn't do that. So I am gonna try to start giving her a bottle. That does mean I have to be diligent about pumping because breastfeeding is supply and demand. So when I see like tips about increasing your milk supply, the only tip I can give you is to feed your child or pump. Like you have to make your boobs and body think that you need the milk. So if you're not pumping or not putting your baby to your boob, you're not gonna have any milk. So there's no real, to me, there's no real tip. That is the tip. You need to feed your child or you need to pump. But So I was pumping. I do have a lot of milk stored, but when I do try to get her in the bottle, if she does take that, then I will have to make sure I'm pumping. And I know that there are moms who exclusively pump, which is crazy because I'm like, honestly, feeding your child, whether you're doing formula, breastfeeding, or exclusively pumping, it's all still like a big journey because to exclusively pump, I would still have to be setting an alarm to pump every so often and for an extended amount of time so my body keeps up with the milk that she needs. But I am gonna try to do that because I just don't want to. Well, I know like kids will take a bottle if they absolutely have to, but I just don't want to be in a position where I need to go do something and she's starving, and then now she's screaming with my boyfriend and just unnecessary stress ultimately. So I am going to try to get her on a bottle. That's next on our agenda here, and um, for pumping, I do have, I think like it's called Motive or something. Y'all can probably hear her. She wrote that. I'm about to grab her in a second. But I do have a manual. I do have an electric pump. I have not used it. I've only used manual pumps. But once I start exclusively pumping, I will definitely be using an electric one so that I can actually like keep up with the supply and demand of what she needs. So yes, I will end up exclusively pumping, especially when she grows teeth, because I don't want to be getting bit. And on top of that, I just want it to be a healthy balance of me being able to go do the stuff that I need to do and her also being able to eat. So that'll be next in this journey. And what else? I think things that have been helpful. Um, Honestly, I think I've just had an easy journey. I've had a lot of milk, and that's just the only thing. I've had a lot of milk, and she's latched so easily that I haven't had any issues, and I'm very thankful for that. And like I said, there are things that are beyond your control. So if you are becoming a mom, don't be so hard on yourself, because you can't control if your daughter or son will latch on. You can't control your milk supply. And I know there's all like these teas and all that stuff, which I don't know if they actually work, but I think your body, like if your body is made with a lot of milk, you're gonna have milk. If it wasn't, I honestly don't think that you will, and that's okay. Like a fed baby, what is like fed is best. Like it doesn't matter if your baby is breastfed or bottle fed as long as they're getting food. So uh, I do enjoy this journey. I don't know how long I will breastfeed. Definitely, definitely, probably. I'm shooting for at least a year at the very least, but I want to do longer as long as I can pump. If I get to a point where I'm not exclusively pumping, I do want to switch over to 100% solids. But um, I think about this time like this is such a, in the grand scheme of things, like everything with motherhood, in my opinion, it's such a small amount of time. Like her sleeping with us, when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't let your baby sleep with you," it's such a small amount of time in her life. And I seen something that said you'll know your kids as adults longer than you'll know them as kids. And I think about that because she's not always gonna want to sleep with us. She's not always gonna be breastfed, and it's just our time to bond, and of course for me to feed her. But it's really our time to bond, and I enjoy it. I enjoy this journey. I'm thankful for this journey, and there's nothing that I would change right now. Even when it is hard and demanding and I have to come home because she's crying, it's still like I really wouldn't change it for anything, because not everybody gets this experience. So that is it for my breastfeeding video. If you have any questions about breastfeeding, let me know in the comments. I'm open to answering if I can, obviously. And that is all for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I post twice a week, so you don't want to miss out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye-bye.